Hi guys, welcome to, or welcome back to, as I normally say, Cooking with Pouncy. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you like what you see, would you please hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think as well, and pass this on as you see fit. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight I'm going to do what started out to be a keto item, keto chicken, if you will. Kind of sort of got the recipe out of a book. You'll have all the ingredients, of course, in the ingredient list. But one of the things I'm going to do that it didn't require of this chicken recipe, chicken thigh recipe, was to leave the bone in it. And I don't want to do that because once that's plated up, I don't have to contend with slicing that chicken on our plates and having to deal with the bones. So I'm going to take the bone out of it, although the recipe didn't say take the bone out. But I'm going to do that. So there'll be some variations in how I actually do it. But again, you'll see it all in the ingredient list. Those of you that are heavy into the keto diets, which I'm not, I'm trying to get into because my wife is saying I should make some of those recipes, and I'll be doing that. But tonight there'll be some variations, and I'll be showing you what those are as well. But again, I'm going to take the bone out of the chicken. I'm going to drop the camera down so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing here. I appreciate you joining in here, guys, and we are going to do this. Okay guys, I'm back. I've already diced my bacon. I've got probably 4 slices of thick sliced bacon that I diced up earlier. And I'm going to be sauteing this bacon to crispness. And I'm going to be reserving some of the fat here, probably 2 tablespoons maybe, to do my chicken thighs in. I'll be boning these out in just a little bit. And then I'll have some mushrooms. I'm going to be wiping these off. So the mushrooms are going to be sliced up to go in this eventually as well. I'm going to be also adding some coarse ground black pepper. I'll be using some kosher salt to season that chicken and the pepper. I'm going to be using some chicken stock. I'm kind of sort of following that recipe that I saw. And again, it calls for what I'm just telling you about right now so far. And then of course, I've got some heavy cream here. I'll be using some of that, probably 3/4 cup, I guess, or so, but it'll be an ingredient list for you guys, okay? And then I've got something I've never used before. You guys probably have, mashed cauliflower. Anyway, this one has bacon in it, of course. You guys know I got to put some meat in it. But anyway, this one has bacon in it. Other ones I saw did have other stuff in them as well, or nothing in them, just the mashed cauliflower, okay? So I'm going to be putting these in the microwave. That might be cheating, but that's what I'm going to do with this process here. I've got some thyme here. I've already washed this, and you should wash this, guys. So I got a couple of sprigs of thyme that I'm going to put in this dish as well. I've got a red onion. I'm going to probably use about half of this onion to do my bacon, and I think I'll go ahead and open these because I got my range on right now, and it's ready to be sauteed, that bacon. And this is again about 4 slices of thick sliced bacon. And that's what I'm going to do there. And actually, the recipe does call for this bacon. I was kind of surprised, thinking, "Oh, I ain't putting bacon in there for God's sakes." But anyway, bacon is good no matter what kind of a recipe it is. I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. So let's get this all crisped up here as we do our little saute with the bacon here. And I'm not going to bore you with this whole process. I'll show it to you when I'm done. All right, guys, I'm trying to stay on task here. Bacon's doing pretty good over here. As I'm sauteing the bacon here, it's looking really good. Just bring it over, let you see it here. I'm going to move the camera. It's looking good. It's almost right where I want it to be, nice and crisp, guys, okay? Got the heat on medium, and the bacon's been actually cooking in real time for about 5 minutes. And I keep moving it around and make sure all of the little pieces get cooked or browned. And we're going to take that out of there. I'm going to take that bacon out of there because it is ready. I've got a paper towel in this little bowl here, and I'm just going to I'm going to just take my bacon out of the bacon fat here. That's looking really good, guys. Still cooking a little bit. So I've got my bacon pieces out of there, and that's what the end result of that bacon is. That bacon's going to go in after this whole thing is done, like on the top of that chicken. I think I'll sprinkle it all over that chicken. I got my knife clean, got my onions ready. The recipe actually calls for a small red onion. That was a large one, of course, and I cut it in half, okay? So let's go ahead and do this. Believe it or not, I took my glasses off so I can see. So let's go ahead and do this. And get a little diced onion here. Little piece just fell off the end, but no big deal. You see what I did to it for falling off there? I chopped it up. All right, so I got my little thin strips here like that, and I'm just going to go like this and dice it up. Notice, guys, I do this and I do that because the onion sticks to the knife. You go like that, and you don't have that problem. You can actually cut yourself if you're not careful. If that onion sticks to that knife and you don't realize it, and you go back, you got onion all over. Anyway, just go like this. Go like that, it comes right off, okay? I do the same thing when I'm slicing potatoes or dicing potatoes. I'm done with the onion deal. I don't need any more of this onion, so let's put the rest of this right here. Probably discard it because I don't need it. I think that's enough onion right there. So there's my onion. It's all diced up there. I'm going to put that over in my little bowl here. Okay. Then we'll do our mushrooms. Then wiped off, and I'm just going to slice these up, guys, okay? All right, here goes our mushrooms. They're already sliced. I'm going to clean up my knife, get my cutting board cleaned a little bit here. And again, I just sliced those up. Already got our onions all sliced up. And we're going to put the excess onion in here. I got my thyme right here ready to go. So, all right, I'm going to clean up a little bit, guys, and then we're going to get that chicken boned out, okay? We're going to get that chicken boned out. That's what we're going to do here. Let's do that right now. So, again, the recipe didn't call for the bone to be taken out of the chicken. But each one of these thighs, I've got 3 of them. Each one of them has that bone in it. So I'm going to take that bone out of here so we don't have to deal with it while we're eating it. And it's very simple to do that. It's not a big deal, guys, at all. I'm just following the bone with my little boning knife here to get that bone out of there. Okay. It's not a big deal. It comes right out, guys. You just follow the bone with your knife, which is what I'm doing. And you take that bone out of there. I'm going to go underneath it now. You can see. Going underneath it, and stick my finger underneath it. And I hold it now. Alright. So you just go like that. And you continue to cut around that bone. And leave all the meat on there. See? And there you have your thigh boned. It was hard to say thigh boned, but I did. I'm going to discard that anyway, so that goes there. There's a little piece of cartilage right here too. Each one of them has that on there, but I'm going to take that off. Okay, I'm going to turn around and turn my burner on here too. All right. Let's see here. I've got about my 3 tablespoons of oil in there, so I'm going to leave that just like it is. That bacon was pretty lean, which is why I don't have a whole lot of fat in there. Then I'm going to be sauteing we're braising my chicken in. I'm going to put the skin side down. I'm going to be seasoning this here right now. But take the other piece of that. Each one of these, like I said, has a little piece of cartilage right there, and I'm going to take that off, okay? All right. And you guys notice I turned my burner on. I'm handling this chicken with my gloved hands. I'm holding my knife here, but I turned my burner on with this hand, and all I did was take it off with this handle, which hasn't touched any chicken, which makes it okay to do that, okay? But be careful, guys, when you talk about cross-contamination, you don't want to do that. These are ready now, so what I'm going to do now is, again, I haven't touched any chicken with this hand, so I'm going to now do my black pepper and my kosher salt, generously putting pepper on there. And again, that recipe did not tell me to cut the bone out of the chicken, but I won't take the bone out of the chicken because I don't want to have to slice it while I'm eating, okay? All right, so that's what we're going to do with that. So I'm going to get my seasoning on here. All right. Kind of a generous amount. Watch out for the bacon fat, like I said, because it burns real easy. Put those over. And really keep an eye on your bacon fat, because it really will start smoking, and you don't want that, okay? All right. Just a little pepper on them. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to put these in there. I think you can see what I'm doing here. Let me just grab my pan here and put them in there. It's just starting to sizzle. I can hear it. And I've got it on medium-high. So they're both going to go in there on medium-high. And kind of roll it around and make sure it's coated with that bacon fat. I'm going to kick it up a little bit now because I can watch them. And then we're going to get cleaned up here. All right, guys, here comes the wrecking crew again. One of the things I forgot, and that recipe did call for, was fresh garlic. I don't have any fresh garlic. I've got some minced garlic here, and I know minced garlic does not take the place of fresh garlic. It's aromatic, and I'm going to use probably a half a teaspoon. You'll see it in the ingredient list, okay? So I'm going to be now taking my chicken out, because it's ready. Let me show you that. I cooked it 5 minutes on each side. Let me show you that, guys. I was going to move the camera, but here we go. And that skin got really crispy, and it's really beautiful, okay? I think you can see that, okay? So, 5 minutes on each side is what I did. Mind you now, this chicken is going to go back in here again once I get my herbs and stuff done. Okay, I've got the fat that's in there. The other stuff is going to saute in. In fact, it's got a little bit more than I want because of the fat that came out of the chicken itself. So I'm going to drain a little bit of that out of there. Got about 2 tablespoons of oil in there right now. Okay, so here's my chicken breast, as I said. I got those nice and crisp. The skin is actually crispy. Unless you hear that. All right, so back on. I'm going to turn it up to medium. And then I'm going to do my onions. Put my thyme in there. But anyway, the rest of it's all academic. I've got my 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream it calls for. I'm going to be putting this in there. I've also got 3/4 of a cup of that chicken broth, which I put in here. So one last thing too. They wanted the recipe called for freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I'm not going to the store to get no fresh grated cheese, and I don't got no grater either. So here we go. We got some grated Parmesan cheese. 1/3 of a cup, and I'm going to be adding that in there too. So anyway, I got my heat on medium now, and I'm going to go back in now again, like I said, with my onions. And here we go. We're going to do this now with our onions. All right. We're going to get those translucent. Won't be able to see them anyway because they're red onions, for God's sake, but you know what I mean, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get a tip of this spoon here, and I'll put that garlic in last because I don't want it to burn, okay? So we're going to get just a little pinch of that in there. I've got my Parmesan cheese in there, although it's not freshly grated. And we're still rocking and rolling here, guys, so there we go. Onions are doing their thing, sizzling. Again, guys, I'm not putting the mushrooms in there just yet. I indicated that to you earlier. I don't want them to overcook. I get the onions about halfway. That's the way I want them to be. And then I'll put the mushrooms in. Then the cream goes in. And then the 3/4 of a cup of my chicken stock goes in. And the chicken then goes back on top of that whole deal, all right? And about ready for the mushroom, just about another 30 seconds here. As those onions are sizzling there. Again, I'm going to give them about another 20 seconds. All right, I'm ready for the mushrooms now, guys. I'm going to put the mushrooms in here. Actually, 6 ounces of mushrooms. One just rolled off the counter because I went too fast. So I'm going to kick that heat up a little bit because I can watch it now. Without turning away from it, and I'm going to pick up that piece of mushroom that just fell without touching the floor, and I didn't. And again, guys, I'm going to now put a bit more seasoning in here, as in that coarse ground black pepper, and a bit more of that kosher salt as well. And I'm going to give me a little more heat, and we're going to put a little bit more to taste, guys. Okay, it'll be, of course, in the ingredient list for you. All right. And some salt. Again to taste. That recipe actually calls for unsalted, salt-free chicken stock. Of course, I didn't have any, so I used the others. So you got to be careful with your sodium there, guys. All right. So, get those up there. Coming together, guys. Don't be falling off on the range here. Something like onions jump out of the pan, for God's sake. Looking good. Looking good, guys. I don't know whether I'm going to bore you with the rest of that process. Those mushrooms are going to be getting pretty tender here in a little bit. I'm going to add my little tip of my teaspoon here, so about a half a teaspoon of garlic. And I think that's about all I got to do here. But the cream is going to go in, the heavy cream, and then the chicken stock, and then this chicken is going to go back on top of that to simmer for a while. I'm not going to, excuse me, I'm going to leave the skin side up so that skin will stay crispy. And I'm just going to set it on top of this configuration once I get the rest of these ingredients in there. Alright guys, I've got my mushrooms and onions already simmered, and I got my thyme in there. I just wanted to show you what that looks like. Kind of looks like cream of mushroom soup, for God's sake. But anyway, that's all those ingredients in, and it smells delicious. It really, really does. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to sit here for just a moment. And here's our chicken breasts, skin side up, and nice and crispy, and they're just beautiful. You can see that. Anyway, that's been cooking for about 5 minutes, and it smells really scrumptious. I'm just going to lay these in there without flipping them over, and thusly. And I'm not going to cover them either. We don't want to create any steam on the top of the chicken now. So I'm going to make sure I get a little of that down on the side here. I'm going to throw away that natural stock, I'll tell you. Okay. And that's that. Now, that's what that looks like. It's just sitting on that sauce, and it really smells good. I guess maybe I'll start eating keto. What do you think? Anyway, here we go. I'm going to let this go for another 10 minutes. That chicken's pretty much done. 99% done, completely done. It's been sitting there for a little bit, as you know. This is in real time now. So if nothing else, it cooled down while it was sitting there while I was doing the other stuff. But it's going to go, it's in there now, as I just said. And I'm going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes. I'm going to then pop my cauliflower, mashed cauliflower, in the microwave for whatever time it tells me to do that, and I'll be ready to plate this up. All right, guys, here we go. Looks pretty good. Looks very good. Here's our mashed cauliflower. It didn't set up like mashed potatoes, obviously. The consistency, I should say. It's a little runny, but that's okay. I did taste it. It's a very good flavor. This is the one with the little bacon chips in it, okay? Here's the end results of the chicken and the cream, heavy cream, and the chicken stock. And it smells really, really good, guys. And again, I didn't flip that chicken over so as to get the skin wet. I didn't want to do that, all right? I want to keep that skin crispy. So let's plate this up right now. And again, the consistency is not like mashed potatoes, so I'm just going to kind of ad lib with it here. I'm going to put a little bit right here. And I'm going to put a little bit right here as well. All right. And let's call that enough for right now, I guess. My wife is kind of shaking her head. I think she wants a little more. Maybe I do too. Right there. And a little bit right there. Okay. Let's let that be enough. All right. Now, let us then, I know we're ad-libbing here, guys, but let's do this. This looks really good. It kind of looks like stroganoff, for God's sakes. Let's just put some of this right here. Do the same thing with this one. And it looks and it smells really good, guys. It really, really does. All right, there's my little piece of thyme there. Put that over there. I think that's going to be good for that. And so what I'm going to do now, as you probably guessed already, I'm going to put one of those chickens right on top of that. Let's put a chicken right on top of that. And I got a little bit of thyme hanging out there, but that's okay. And let's put that one right there, okay? Ooh, guys, you wouldn't believe how that smells. It smells really, really good. Really, really good. Okay, now don't forget, we won't forget our bacon here. Put a little bacon on there. We're going to call it garnish, even though it's bacon, okay? Let's put a little bacon right on top. You drop it on there like that. And it's okay if some gets down there, because it's going to nick it over there. All right, let's just do that. It's pretty nice, guys. Now we're going to do a little chives, okay? Just put some green on there. Looks good. Oh my goodness, it looks good. It smells good too, guys. I didn't tell you about my plates. I heated my plates as well. I usually do that, especially if I'm doing stuff in the oven. If I have residual heat, I just throw my plates in there so these plates are nice and toasty. And so that's the end result. I think you can probably see that. That's hot, guys. I hope you can see it. Okay? Looks really good. All right? Okay, guys. As I indicated, we're going to enjoy this immensely. It's my first time around with this process here. It looks and again, it smells absolutely scrumptious. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Cooking with Pouncy. I really appreciate that. If you like what you see, please tell me that by hitting that like button and pass this on. Let me know what you think as well, guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it a lot, and we're going to enjoy this meal. It looks and smells, once again, really, really good. So we'll see you next time, guys.